Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Canal Algérie's nightly news. On to the headlines. The President of the Republic congratulates the GS Kabylie female football team after winning Algeria's Cup trophy by beating FC Akbou. Unlike the other countries of the world, Algeria celebrates International Labour Day with considerable achievements meant to improve the workers' living conditions and their purchasing power. France is the scene of a massive mobilization in several big cities calling for social rights, an event during which voices for Gaza are heard. And Morocco, demolition and forced evictions are suffocating citizens getting ready to hold a march to denounce this situation in the regime's growing alliance with the Zionist entity. Welcome back. First off, the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, congratulated on his official account the GS Kabylie women's team following their victory over FC Akbou in the final of the Cup of Algeria in a message which reads, "Congratulations to GS Kabylie women's team on winning the Algerian Football Cup final. Congratulations to you and the technical team on this achievement." End message. The female team of GS Kabylie snatched Algeria's Football Cup trophy after beating FC Akbou with 3-1 in the final game held at Mustafa Chakar Stadium in Blida. Let's follow the highlights of this thrilling match.
في المدرجات وفي دكة بدلاء طلع مع هدف في هجمة مرتدة. يا سلام على الثنائية والثلاثية انطلاقة داخل المنطقة هنا وجمال حمص. الهدف الثاني. فرحة هنا بالمدرجات من قبل مناصرات فريق أكبو. أكيد أنها تملك نزعة هجومية للمساهمة في الحملات الهجومية. أول الهدف حقيقة في أول لمس للكرة تعطي كرة وتمنح توزيعة جميلة جدا تقلص بها فتيات أكبو. تجديد هل هي فرصة تأمين اللقب وتباطؤ وعودة للخلف في محاولة أخرى تسديدة. الهدف الثالث وشبيبة القبائل في البطولة. إذا النسخة 24 تتويج صور عودة فريق شبيبة القبائل بفرعه للسيدات والتتويج المستحق. مشاهدينا كانت الزميلة لبنى وريس مع إحدى اللاعبات.
In other news, on the occasion of World Labour Day, a ceremony was held at the headquarters of the trade union. It was chaired by Omar Takjout, the Secretary General of the General Union of Algerian Workers, in the presence of the Minister of Labour, Employment and Social Security, Faisal Ben Taleb, and with the participation of representatives of unions and confederations representing various sectors. The UGTA Secretary General stressed the need for concentrated efforts to achieve economic renaissance and preserve the gains achieved by workers under the new Algeria. While Algeria honored its elders, in France, May 1st took on a different tone. In several major cities, social unrest escalated with clashes and tensions between protesters and law enforcement. Amid the turmoil, some voices also rose to express solidarity with the Palestinian people. Manan Maafa and Amira Sefta explain.
On this day of this month of May, the streets of France became the stage of a massive yet highly tense mobilization. In Paris, Marseille, Lyon and dozens of other cities, traditional union-led demonstrations quickly spiraled into chaos. Projectiles thrown, tear gas deployed and storefronts shattered. Social anger erupted with striking force.
Les droits des travailleurs sont bafoués.
Workers' rights are under attack around the world, and France is no exception. Hundreds of union activists face legal action for their involvement in social movements. The secretary of the CGT in Nord was even given a suspended one-year prison sentence for showing support for the Palestinian people.
Un an de prison avec sursis pour avoir soutenu le peuple palestinien.
Aujourd'hui, Aujourd'hui, ce qu'on voit, c'est surtout la guerre aux travailleurs et travailleuses.
Today, workers are facing increase in hostility, and the global situation only adds to the urgency. May Day is a moment to call for peace, an economy and industry that meet people's needs. Alongside this, key demands include better wages, job protection, and strong public services that truly serve the population.
La région, mais encore une fois, avoir des productions et des services publics qui répondent aux besoins des populations.
But amid the unrest, another voice rose above the tension, the voice of solidarity with Gaza. Many demonstrators were determined to reaffirm their support for the Palestinian people, victims of a war described as genocidal and unprecedented in its violence.
Depuis des années,
For years, 140,000 Palestinians have faced systematic oppression and rights violations. This May Day, a day of global workers' solidarity, we call for support for the Palestinian people, solidarity with the silenced unionists, solidarity with Palestine.
les syndicalistes bâillonnés par l'État français, solidarité avec le peuple palestinien.
May 1st, 2025 will be remembered for its dual imprint, the palpable tensions in the streets of France and a movement that, despite its excesses, continues to carry the voice of resistance and solidarity.
In Gaza, May 1st is no longer a day to honor workers, but to mourn victims. The economy is in ruins and over 200,000 people left without livelihoods. Palestinian unions call for global solidarity as famine spreads and infrastructure lies in rubble. Wissam Abu Zaid.
In Gaza, May 1st is no longer a day for workers' pride. It is a day of devastation. Workplaces no longer exist, and survival itself has become a struggle. Factories are in ruins. Shops are shut. Over 95% of Gaza's economic infrastructure has been destroyed by Zionist bombings. Machinery, workshops, and industrial equipment have all been targeted. Gaza is completely destroyed. Nothing is left, no factories, no shops. Everything has been leveled, leaving 200,000 to 300,000 workers with no livelihood. Entire sectors, fishing, construction, textiles, transport are all at a standstill. Unemployment exceeds 80%. Hundreds of thousands are left without work, income, or shelter. Gaza is plunged into darkness. No electricity, no water, no fuel. Food is scarce. Famine is advancing, especially among children.
المعاناة اللي عانينا فيها في الحرب إنه أنت عارف الوضع اللي هو الحرب.
Many municipal workers were killed or injured in the strikes. I was wounded myself, and my colleagues were martyred on Labor Day.
وأنا من ضمن المصابين يعني أنا وزمايلي واستشهدوا.
The General Federation of Palestinian Trade Unions is calling for May 1st to become a global day of solidarity. They demand an end to attacks on civilian infrastructure, the reopening of border crossings, and accountability for crimes against workers. In Gaza, the disaster is not only human, it is deeply social and economic.
In Morocco, bulldozers uproot more than homes. They erase lives as forced evictions multiply under murky legal grounds. Workers prepare to march against economic suffocation and the regime's growing alliance with the Zionist entity. Sajid Abalaman and Ismahan Sultan.
In Morocco, the dignity of the people is trampled, and citizenship is crushed under the treads of bulldozers that relentlessly erase the rights of ordinary citizens. The regime continues its campaign of forced displacement, often based on dubious, legally undergrounded pretexts. Except for the clear motive, the protection of massive real estate interests concentrated in the hands of a monopolistic elite with strong ties to the Zionist entity. I have documents proving that I caused no harm to the state or local authorities. I have 17 official permits and I've lived here for more than 8 years. Then one day, the government tells me to tear everything down. But under what law and why? While workers across the world fight for social and labor rights, Moroccan workers are once again preparing to take to the streets, denouncing a suffocating daily reality, collapse in public services, and increasingly harsh living conditions. This harsh reality is exacerbated by the Makhzen's continued alignment with the Zionist entity at the cost of the fundamental rights of its own people.
Coming up in our news edition. The second edition of Sports Festival kicks off with several sports activities held across Algiers, delving the capital's inhabitants into an amazing atmosphere. Welcome back. In the framework of reinforcing ties of brotherhood, and per the invitation of scholars of Tariqa Tijaniyya in Burkina Faso, the General Caliph of Tariqa Tijaniyya Ali Bil Arabi, accompanied by a high-level delegation, conducted a visit to Burkina Faso in which many zawayas that teach the principles of Tariqa are found, representing the majority of Muslims in the country. During this visit, the delegation will visit the Zawaya Tijaniyya in the region and proceed to the installation of the High Council of Tariqa Tijaniyya in Burkina Faso and the reinforcement of links between the brothers of Tariqa, as well as meetings and popular activities. The Caliph General of Tariqa Tijaniyya Ali Bil Arabi received the advisor to the President of the Republic in charge of Islamic affairs of Burkina Faso, who paid him a courtesy visit during which Bil Arabi reaffirmed the need to put the interests of the country above all. The Minister of Interior, Local Collectivities and Territory Planning, Brahim Marad, gave the kickoff signal of the second edition of the Festival of Sports in Algiers. The Minister of Sports, Walid Sadi, the Minister of Youth in charge of the Higher Council of Youth, Mustafa Hidawi, the Minister of Environment and Quality of Life, Najiba Jilali, the Wali or Governor of Algiers, Mohamed Abdelnour Rebhi, as well as representatives of several organizations were all present for the kickoff. The 6th National E-Commerce and Online Services Expo kicks off in Stif, bringing together startups, entrepreneurs, and industry players. Dozens of exhibitors are showcasing innovations and ideas to boost digital commerce and foster partnerships. Ismail Bilqaidiya and Manal Maafo.
With its growing popularity among young people, e-commerce took center stage in Sirif with the city's first ever expo of its kind in the capital of high plateaus. Not long ago, e-commerce meant a young person working from their bedroom. Today, they are business leaders creating value, building teams and driving innovation. With over 60 exhibitors and a packed program of workshops and master classes, some even offer hands-on sessions at their stands.
On a été parmi les premiers partenaires à croire à cet événement dans le domaine du e-commerce.
We were among the first partners to believe in e-commerce, and our main goal is to help professionalize the e-commerce industry. The spotlight was on the exhibitors, especially startups, each bringing their own unique touch. It is a booking platform and an app that provides domestic and international flight tickets, working with all major airlines companies at competitive rates. As for payment, it is done securely via CEB card or a Dahabia card. The strong turnout at the e-commerce expo is a clear indicator of its success, with visitors' numbers growing exponentially.
End of our news. Thank you for watching. Enjoy your weekend.